Thank you for coming to our finals week tips video. We're going to talk about what to know and what to do for finals here at Kenyon College. This video is going to cover tips for making the most out of your finals week with suggestions from our tutors. We're also going to recommend other campus resources for support, including librarians and using your professor's office hours. So, here are 10 tips from our tutors for succeeding on your finals. First, choose a good study or writing space. Second, set a study and writing schedule. 3, take breaks. 4, don't cram. 5, use your class notes. 6, use your campus resources. 7, try different study resources. 8, do something fun to de-stress. 9, practice self-care. And last but not least, 10, take part in campus events. Tip 1, choose a good study or writing space. For us, we personally like the library. If you know what works best for you for studying, great. Seek those spaces out. If you're unsure, ask yourself the following. Do I focus better in quiet or loud spaces? Do I need other people around me to be studying too? And what sorts of spaces are most comfortable for me to be in and to complete work? The best thing you can do is make sure you're comfortable wherever you're sitting or working. Some advice from our tutors. One recommends have a few places on campus to go. You'll need to vary your study spaces as what works one day might not another. And another recommends that just because there's less on the schedule doesn't mean there's more free time. It can be really difficult making the most out of all the unstructured time. So consider making a study schedule or making quote study time meetings with friends. A couple additional things to keep in mind as you prep for tip 1. Make sure you're comfortable where you're sitting and with what you're wearing. This is also good advice for when you take a test as well. Wear comfy clothes and sit in a spot that you can do well in. Check that you have a good surface on which to write. Find a space where you can take breaks to walk and stretch without disturbing too many other people. See if the noise is at a level with which you're comfortable, and make sure you can have snacks and drinks in the area you've chosen if you want them. Some great spaces for group study include the Science Quad, MSSC, and Wiggins. Some great places for self-study include your own res hall, a spot off campus, you can use the cat, and the BFAC if the weather is nice. Tip 2, set a study and writing schedule. Plot out how much time you have to study and then organize your academic needs, which classes do you struggle in the most, for example, based on the time you have available. Try to distribute your time in a reasonable way, providing yourself space for breaks and eating. Please note, eating and using the restroom are not actually breaks, or you shouldn't consider them that way. That's just normal things you have to do to satisfy your bodily needs. Think about breaks as time you're completely distanced from work and just breathing in, breathing out, and relaxing. We'll talk more about breaks in a minute. Advice from our tutors. Doing small chunks of studying over a long time is way less anxiety-inducing than reviewing material from 2 semesters in one day. I did that for the Quest exam, would not recommend. Another tutor notes, anything you can start early, start early. Doing things in small chunks for a long period of time is less overwhelming than doing the whole project in 1 or 2 days. Additional suggestions for tip 2. Great utilities with free options for studying include the Pomodoro Timer website, which gives you built-in breaks, Notion, which gives you a chance to get your thoughts and plans organized, and Google Calendar, which you can set to send you reminders when you need to be studying. Tip 3. Our breaks. Take breaks in between study and writing sessions. Just like cramming is bad because it doesn't allow you to retain as much information, constantly studying or writing and editing can work in much the same way. You need to step away, let the material sink in, and then come back to it with a fresh perspective. A good break will last between 15 and 30 minutes. Some advice from our tutors on breaks. Separating work from relaxation time can put your mind at ease as you switch from one mode to another. Another tutor explains, if possible, I try to work as little as possible over Thanksgiving. It gives me a nice break and allows me to have a full reset before I go into finals. Then I have positive and work-free memories of home to look forward to after finals. There are a couple of helpful ways to spend your break time, including grabbing a snack. Everyone can use brain food. Getting up and walking around for a time. Getting your mind and body focused on something else is always good. Practicing meditation. We have an image here about that. Coloring for a while to let your mind wander. And getting sunlight, especially in colder weather when the effects of less sun can be felt. You need to make sure to spend some time outside getting that vitamin D. Tip 4, don't cram, pace yourself. While cramming in new information may seem like a good idea because it doesn't require much time, it also doesn't allow much room for retention. You're better off studying a bit every night in every subject to pace yourself and let yourself gain the knowledge of the material. And I say studying at night here because I do better studying at night, but you might be someone who studies better in the afternoon or the evening or the morning. That's great. Know what time works best for you by practicing a little bit with each time and seeing what you retain. Advice from our tutors. I wish I had known how to manage my time better when I was a first year. I think knowing what to prioritize and what assignments require more time to complete can alleviate some of the stress of finals week. Another one explains the thing about college assignments is that they always feel like giant problems that need to be addressed all at once. Reorienting it into multiple small items can often help keep the flow as it allows the tasks to be better scheduled around. We have here an example for prioritizing and pacing yourself. The schedule prioritizes when you'll study. Note that this is a night study session, but if you're a morning or afternoon or early evening person, you can adjust it. And for how long you'll study. It also allows you to organize your study and writing time based on those areas about which you're most concerned. So you see they prioritize class I most need to study in, class I'm also concerned about, class I have a big paper for. They kind of organize based on that. Tip 5, use your class notes. Look over the notes you took in class, see if you notice patterns or things your professor regularly repeated. Ask to share notes with your classmates, see what they might have noticed that might have missed, especially if you were absent at all. And then review the slides, recordings, paper prompts, and PowerPoints your professor shared with you. They can provide additional useful information. Advice from our tutors. Finals week is not quite as scary as you make it out to be. The more I scare myself, the less productive I am. So just being reasonable about what's at stake is important. Obviously study, but know that this isn't the end of the world. And then another tutor says, eat well, sleep well, study hard, and play hard. That is the turtle hermit way. We have a couple of pieces of advice for practicing note taking in order to get ready for finals. First, the student tutors here at Kenyon can help. We have a variety of methods for note taking as part of our academic skills enrichment opportunity. Second, you can also come to Thrive Through Thursday. Every Thursday classes are in session during Common Hour in Chalmers 302 to learn more and get more guidance on note taking. We have pictured here the Cornell method, which is one of the most useful methods for taking notes both during and after class. Tip 6, go to your writers, professors, writing liaisons, and/or TAs for support. Once you've looked at your notes or completed a draft of a paper, go to your professors or TA study sessions. If they don't have study sessions, they do have office hours, so use those. If you have a course liaison in your class, you can go to them for additional advice for the final. And writing tutors are also here to help, even if they're not specifically assigned to your class. Our writing tutors advise, make use of office hours to figure out what exactly your professors are looking for in assignments before it's actually time to start working on them. This will mean that when it's time to get to work, you have a much better idea of what to do. Those conversations will help you figure out your ideas as well. Another tutor explains, I would emphasize visiting office hours and talking to the professor about the course and the big ideas that they want to leave their students with. The prof is an expert in this topic, and they'll have their own ideas about the most important takeaways and what they hope you get from their lessons. We also have a list of course liaisons and our tutors with their majors on our website. You can check them out under Writing Consultants and Writing Liaisons. Tip 7, try different resources for studying. Don't just stick to reading notes, try flashcards, study apps, and different spaces to find what works best for you. Some of our favorite apps in the Writing Center are Quizlet, Study Buddy, and Forest. Advice from our tutors. Using study tools can be helpful. Apps like Quizlet let me study in smaller chunks when I'm waiting in a line or have a short break between events. Another one explains, do as well as you can in the time remaining. Even if your grade is not what you wanted it to be, there is still time to produce good work. If you haven't tried the SQ3R method yet, it might be a good idea for your studying. First, you survey, you don't read, but you skim. Then you question, you formulate questions about the content you've read. Then you read in more detail, looking for answers to the questions you created from skimming. Then you recite, summarizing in your own words what you read, and then you review, creating a little bit of a summary of the chapter that you can look back at later on before your test. Tip 8, do something fun to distress. While it may feel like everyone is studying all the time, they're not. Take some time to go do something fun and give your brain a chance to relax. Go to the Lowry Center to work out, spend some time outside, take a walk, eat dinner with friends, call a loved one, or watch a movie. Advice from our tutors. You can finish the semester on a positive note by caring for your future you. Don't burn yourself to the wick and keep healthy so you can face anything. Another tutor explains, I would reemphasize that just getting finals and general ending assignments in is so important. It's okay to feel more burnout, but do not let this feeling bring down the grades you've earned at the beginning simply from not handing assignments in. A couple campus resources for fun. You can type any of these suggestions we're giving you into the campus website search bar to find out more, including the campus events calendar, reading opportunities in Chalmers, art in the Gund, and a visit to the BFEC. Tip 9, practice self-care. Make sure to get a good night's sleep, eat well, and wear comfy clothes during and before your exams. While you write, take time to think about harsh ideas. Wow, that's not what it says. While you write, take time to think about ideas, but don't critique yourself too harshly. It'll demoralize you and not help your writing process. Use the counseling center. They're a free and wonderful service. Visit the meditation room below the bookstore. Use the sensory-friendly room in Chalmers Library. And then lastly, talk with those who love and care for you, even just for a few minutes every day about something other than your finals. Find out how they're doing. Tips from our tutors. Keep using resources. It's a busy time, but do not give up on going to the Lowry Center, Cox Counseling, and other resources that keep your mental health and physical health in check. Good health is important for completing finals. Your work does not have to be perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Phrased another way, hand in things on time, even if you haven't obsessed over and perfected them as much as you might usually. It's better to be on time with final assignments than late. A couple additional resources to check out: the Cox Health and Counseling Center, the Campus Meditation Room, the Church of the Holy Spirit, Hillel House, Snowden Multicultural Center, Unity House, and ODEI. We also want to recommend our amazing librarians. These wonderful people will support you with research guidance, course guides, and more. Our research guides offer unique support for a variety of disciplines here at Kenyon. I think all of them, actually. Our research support will happen with your department librarian, and you can also visit the special collections and archives, which always have a great display on Chalmers Library Floor 1 that will provide a new perspective while giving you a good break. Tip 10, take part in campus events. Is there a game or athletic event you want to see? Is there a workshop you want to attend? Is there a student org hosting an event that is interesting to you? Taking a break with other non-academic activities will help you connect with campus while giving your brain a break from your coursework. Some advice from tutors. My first year, I spent my whole finals week stressed out and turning down invites to go anywhere. My second year, I said yes to a few things and ended up much less stressed and better able to focus when I needed to study. Don't spend all your time studying or writing. Get out and do things too and make memories. I like to finish the semester with a bang, another tutor notes. Putting all my energy into finals and pushing myself into my academics limits makes for a more satisfying winter break. After 2 of the hardest weeks of my academic life, sudden relief is all the more satisfying. Couple upcoming events to check out: the Fall Dance Concert, the Harp Ensemble Fall Concert, Late Night Bites, and Late Night Write. There will be more to come on the academic calendar as the semester wraps up. Thanks for listening. If you have questions, you can email me, Professor Anna Scanlon, she, her, at scanlon1@kenyon.edu. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody.